Are you a fan of Star Wars, Marvel, Jurassic Park, The Office, or Disney and Pixar movies? Or do you just want a sleek, comfortable patterned shirt? Then you need to check out Roosevelts.com. Roosevelt's clothing is the most eye-catching and comfortable clothing available on the market. From button-ups to hoodies, hats, and more, Roosevelt's truly has something for everyone. Check them out today at Roosevelts.com. That is RSVLTS.com. And when you do, make sure to use promo code SWOGGLE to save 20% off your order. Made for those with a love of sports, pop culture, and all of the above, this is clothing for the bold and fun for those who dare mighty things. So that's promo code SWOGGLE to save 20% off new, clearance, and restocks at Roosevelts.com. Guys, here we are once again. Another episode of Going Postl. I forgot to say it. Hey guys! There it is. Can't start a podcast without the hey guys. We're on another episode. This week, we're going to be doing a throwback episode. But before we go any farther, I'm Dylan. This is my ride-along partner. That's George. He does the Game Marks podcast with Caruso. This is where I always...
That's no. Give me the real one.
I always forget. Oh, sorry. Caruso! I always forget the intro. George, I'm not good at the intro. I say hi, and then I toss it to you, and you do the intro. That's the issue here.
I'll do it right now.
Yeah, George, do the intro.
Okay. Guys, welcome to Going Postl. That's Dylan. I'm George. This podcast is brought to you by our good friends over at the Roosevelt's brand. Make sure to go to rsvlts.com and use code SWOGGLE to save yourself 20% on some of the most eye-catching, amazing designed and comfortable shirts you could possibly own. And like Dylan was saying, we got a throwback episode. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But at Going Postl Pod on all forms of social media, at Dylan Postl on all forms of social media, DylanPostl.com. That is the one-stop shop for everything Swoggle. You've got YouTube, the Twitch, SwoggleAuction.com, where you can get yourself a free $10 credit to whatnot, and ProWrestlingTees.com/Swoggle. And what else? Oh, there's also the Big Cartel on DylanPostl.com.
I was just going to say, I just did a bunch of orders this week. Just came in for the Big Cartel. Filled them that day. Sent them out the next day. Guys, my mailman, I think my mailman or mail lady, mail person, I think they absolutely despise me because there isn't many days a week where a package isn't going out. And now they just gave me like a box instead of just putting them on the porch because they would now they know when there's packages to go out instead of in. And they go, just put them in there, put the box out. Then we know that there's stuff to go out that we got to pick up. Because I would just forget to do the package pickup for a couple days, and they would just be sitting out there. Yeah, Big Cartel. Exclusive items on the Big Cartel. Got the hats, the brand new trucker hats. Got the brand new magnets. And very soon, I'm going to be adding another item. Stay tuned.
Oh, and the koozies. Can't forget
the koozies. The koozies. The best koozies. Exclusive koozies. Koozies, drink faster, as talked about. My hatred for koozies. They're on there. Support the cause for anti-koozing.
Yeah. Well, with that, we got a lovely throwback episode that some of you may have heard, some of you may have not. It is from a time long past. We are covering all things Swoggle entrance music. We cover things from his time pre-WWE, back when he was known as Shortstack, and we go all the way to today, where he uses his current indie theme, and you'll hear all about that in the episode. Very excited. This was a fun one, and excited to take a trip down memory lane.
It was.
What do you want to say to close?
It was weird to think about all of the themes I used, and then like the weirdest thing that sticks out to me about this, we'll probably talk about on the out, is the difference in that random WWE music change. And yeah, enjoy! Guys, let's talk about Mad Cat Beard Care. They make my beard feel soft, silky smooth, and they can do the same for yours. A one-man show since 2019, Mad Cat uses a portion of their sales to care for local stray cats. That money covers their medical bills and finds them safe spaces and forever homes. Their products are made to order with vitamins and all-natural oils that promote strong, healthy hair and moisturize your skin as well. They've got exclusive scents for myself, as well as other wrestlers like my good pal Brian Myers, Mr. Kennedy, and Ring of Honor legend Delirious. Make sure to check out all of their scents, along with my Swoggled scent, which has notes of lavender and sage. I absolutely love this scent. And guys, we've got an exclusive offer for listeners of Going Postl. Use promo code SWOGGLED to save yourself 15% on your orders only at madcatbeardcare.com. That is Swoggled with a D on the end to save yourself 15% on your orders at madcatbeardcare.com. Guys, that's 15% with promo code SWOGGLed. And remember, the Mad Cat makes a happy beard.
So I have a list of all of your entrance themes from multiple different promotions and all that
you
stuff.
just,
But
yeah, man, you just sent me, like, before we started recording, you sent me two of them that I've never, or one of them that I've never heard in my life. And then one that I've heard only because it's on my phone. It's like it's come up on my iTunes. But it's like, it's, man, this is a weird sleeper episode that I mentioned in the comments, like a weird sleeper episode that can go on a lot of different paths.
this is going to be a trip
It
down
could be a
memory
very
lane.
short episode, or knowing us, it's gonna be the usual.
It's probably going to go long, but let's start here. So before you're in WWE, when you're Shortstack, when you're Hardcore Wonder, when you're just doing indie runs,
Oh my
in
god, I forgot about
backyard feds,
Hardcore Wonder backyard stuff.
like what was your theme back then? 'Cause
Very
obviously now
first theme song in the backyard was Hoobastank Crawling in the Dark. And I don't know why, because I'm not, like, I never
that opening
owned a
guitar riff
Hooba.
is amazing. That's why.
It's a good song, but I never owned, like, a Hoobastank shirt. I didn't know I was a Hoobastank fan. I didn't. But
I mean,
that,
if you're not
yeah.
familiar with that band or that song, like just go and listen to that one song.
It's a hell of a
I'm
song.
pretty sure
It is a hell of a song.
It's an awesome song, and that opening guitar riff is legendary. I'm pretty sure I first found out about that song from a Mountain Dew commercial, and I was just like, "What is this song? This is so cool!" And then like a couple weeks later, it was on like MTV or something.
That was the years of tantric. Everyone used, especially in the backyard scene, tantric for music videos.
God.
But that was my first backyard wrestling theme. And then when we met up with the big backyard group, with the real ring, then I switched to Nelly because Dylan Postl. If you know anything about Dylan Postl's music taste, Newfound Glory and Nelly.
What Nelly song did you use? I thought you were joking when you made the Nelly reference earlier. That is...
I just saw Nelly for the first time a few months ago, and I was jumping out just the whole time, yelling, "This is the fucking best day of my life."
That's amazing. I did not know this about you.
Oh, I went through the Sweat and Suit album. I had to buy 3 different times because I played it so much.
Wow.
I love Nelly. It was Nelly. Now, hold on. Why can't I think of the song? I literally have it.
Country Grammar?
No, it was no, it was not Country Grammar. Oh my god, I'm having the biggest brain fart ever. Hold on, I got it right
Was it
here.
off of that album?
Nope, On the Grind. Nelly On the Grind,
On the
which
Grind.
no one knows. Nobody knows On the Grind. I loved On the Grind. And that was my song, and that was one of my indie songs then too. Um, yeah, I loved Nelly. So being able, in my mind, to have Nelly as my entrance music was the best.
That's fantastic. I
Yeah,
did not know that you use Nelly as an entrance theme. See, this is why this show is so great, because it's very easy to just like go on YouTube and just search like Swoggle entrance themes or Hornswoggle entrance themes, and
no
you could
one.
get most of them. But
So
you're like
yeah,
you're not knowing what Shortstack came out to. You're not knowing what Hardcore Wonder came out to. Like
Hardcore
this is
Wonder
awesome.
came out to Nelly. And then when I started, I was a manager for Jay Cash and Shane Hills, and we used the Bad Boys 2 song for Nelly
Oh,
as well. Um, I loved that song again because it had Nelly. So that, and then I did singles stuff, which I used on the grind, still as short stack. And then as a joke, someone played Skilo I Wish, which I
oh.
hate. Like, I hate that song. I really do. But it got like a reaction all the time. So I was like, oh, this is funny and people enjoy this. So I'm going to use it. And so I used it. And that was my last run on the indies. Like before getting hired, my last few months, I used Skilo I Wish.
I mean, that song is great. And then I know that in like maybe like 2008, he redid it as like a rock version, but it wasn't like a cover band. It's like actually Skilo doing it, and
I've never
all of a
heard
sudden
this
it
and
just
now I
becomes
have to.
like a metal, like a hardcore song. And I was just like, this is amazing. This is so cool. Like it gives the song a like completely different feeling. If you like the song, I wish go check it out because it's awesome. I think it's just like a rock version.
Which I feel Skilo might only have that song.
I think he has like a whole album with that song. I don't know. Can't say that I you know what I need
Not a
to
big Skilo
do
fan.
some. I mean I like that song, but can you name another Skilo song?
I cannot.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like
I
maybe
know
this is the
my brother Tim had the Skilo album with that song on it and I remember hearing
that's
it
what
when
I
I
was
was
gonna say.
really young.
After this, I'm gonna have to go maybe do some research and listen to it, educate myself on the other songs, the musical
I
history
mean,
of
there could be
one
12
Skilo.
songs on that album. You don't know the other 11.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what I'm gonna do after this. All right,
Uh,
so then the jump happens, right? You
yeah.
get signed, and you are coming out to "Love to Fight." That is the
Love to Fight.
Finley theme
So
song.
the first one, the first one you sent me, I
Yeah.
don't remember. Are you sure I
So
came out to that one?
um, how I put this list together is I can't find when exactly Finley's theme changed. Love to Fight has actually two versions. So there's a version 1 and a version 2, which I was unaware of. But there's like a big orchestral section behind it in the first version, and then that first version changes, and it's the drums are more pronounced, and I think that's the version
Yeah, but also I'm thinking about it. I would have like so I would have never came out to that song. So
when it's
what I was thinking though was would I have ever come no no way out '08. Okay? We're the us versus the boogeyman, all right?
yeah.
Would I have come out to his song? Or
So
he
this
wouldn't
says
have
that
been
he
using
used
he wouldn't have been using my babyface music yet, would he have?
no, it says that he used this from 2006 to 2008. So this could be it doesn't say when he stops using it in 2008, but It's shown as 2008, so maybe this is what happens before.
I would love to know also, because I don't know, I would love to know the first time I had an entrance with my song.
Oh.
Would it have been the Cruiserweight win? I don't think I ever came out.
I was gonna say, because when you, because
I never came out.
I'm trying to think of like when you have your like the Rumble and all that stuff. Like that's
That was after.
yeah. I say that's all after. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it might be. If not, it's very close. But then there's when does that one-off face theme come in? You don't come
Way
out.
later.
That's just
That's
Finley comes out to
later,
it one
later.
time, but we
That's
talked about it,
later.
so I wanted to include it on the list.
During, I want to say that's during the me and Vince stuff.
Okay.
I want to say that's when that was.
I couldn't find a year on it because it's so
It's so weird, guys.
It's like a one-off entrance, and it never happens again.
I know we used it once on SmackDown, but I don't remember. And like once on a loop a weekend of house shows, but that's it. And I guarantee Finley Fit instantly said, "This ain't working," because it is a weird song.
If you search in the YouTube machine, if you search Finley, the Swaggering Growlers, that is the name of the band that created this song, and then that song was remixed by Jim Johnston, and that's what ended up becoming that face theme. Is just like what it's called. It's just called Finley Face Theme, pretty much.
It's very weird.
It's very different. It's more like punky, but like it's like Irish punk.
I guess. I guess.
It doesn't fit. The song itself is awesome, but it does not fit Finley and the Finley character.
No, even us as baby faces, it doesn't fit us. Like,
no, it's too fast.
Yeah. So it but now that I think about it, I bet the first time they ever played music for me was when I won the Cruiserweight title. And then they changed that music from that one to my normal Hornswoggle music.
Yeah. And
so
then
I don't know how many times I used the weird Hornswoggle music.
So then the Hornswoggle music that you're most known for, do you know the name of that song?
I can hear it. I hear it in my nightmares.
I mean, you have it spliced into your hit or miss theme on the indies for a bit.
I did that because I was like, oh, if in Horse Cave, Kentucky, I just come out to hit or miss, they won't know. They won't know that there's a little guy coming out.
Do you know the name of the theme that you are most associated with?
Isn't it like He's My Da or He's Da Ma?
Yep, He's My Da.
Which I don't know, whatever. But it's just very weird and like, yeah, that song. So then we're getting like, this is like a very pop it all over the place episode, and but it has to be with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So we, Finley and I Finley used his music, for a bit or for the whole time, and then the only time I would have come out to that would have been the Boogeymen stuff.
Okay.
As far as I know, and that's all I remember. But then I'm thinking the weird Hornswoggle music was only for the Cruiserweight win.
Do you know the name of that song?
No.
It's called St. Patrick's Fray.
Oh, great. Yep. Okay.
Well, there you go. There's your random
Hornswoggle
trivia for
that
today.
one way more than my one. I hate and I think it's just because I know the one so much, and it's annoying.
I'm gonna laugh every time you do that.
That's how it sounds.
I know, but you just said that you know the name.
I don't.
and you keep calling it the da 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 song. You're like, yeah, it's called like He's Mada or something, but you're just like, yeah, the da 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 song. Makes you laugh every time.
Well, so then, but again, like I'm trying to timeline everything together. I know we just had that Finley episode, but of when he kind of turns babyface, and I don't know really when. Was it the kid storyline, or was it?
Yeah, it's
before
the whole Vince thing, and then everything happens with like you getting put into like gauntlet matches, and Great Khali gets involved and all that stuff.
Correct, but so he wasn't a babyface at all before I was Vince's son.
No, I think he's that kind of like in between, like anti-hero kind of role where he's just like doesn't necessarily play by
don't
all
touch
the
the little
rules.
guy.
Weapon?
Hey, don't touch the little guy kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just like he's like that bruiser kind of dude, but like doesn't always play by the rules, not necessarily like going out of his way to do like the dastardly heel, like stereotypical heel things, but just like he's like that in between bruiser guy.
Okay, so then he would have started coming out to da-da-da-das
Yes.
as well. But he never
so then
came
he's
out
also coming out to He's Mada as well.
Yeah, but he never came out to the weird one, the weird Hornswoggle music.
No, that one is just you. That's like that. Like if you search that and you search like Hornswoggle theme song, it's like St. Patrick Foray is one of the only pictures that come up, and the picture for the video is you with the cruiserweight title.
So man, I wonder if it's more than just my cruiserweight win.
I mean, we sample it for like 1 or 2 seconds for that weird like horn intro, and then it goes right into the actual theme for this podcast because I thought that was cool, and I didn't want to use the the da 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 as the intro for this podcast because I feel like you get enough of that.
I get a lot of da-da-das.
So then, like the other things that you come out to in the WWE, you come out to the DX theme.
No, where we broke it down before.
You come out to Land of the Five Rivers, which is the Kali theme.
The Punjab, but the Playboy Kali theme.
Yes. Then you come out to. Those are, I gotta tell you, you look. I know. Like you look like you are having the time of your life. Like I watched a couple of videos of that when I was putting this together, and I was like, Swoggle just looks like he is just carefree, and he's just like fucking out here hanging out with my friends, having a good time. Like it doesn't even look like you're at work. It just looks like you're like out there having a good time.
I'll tell you this: I should have won a goddamn Oscar for Leprechaun Origins if I'm that good of an actor. If Jesus, the fattest I've ever was during that time, like just unhappy.
But that doesn't mean that you weren't having fun. Then, we don't have to go deep dive into this one. Then there's Somebody Call My Mama.
Hold on. You're going to bring up the Kali theme and not deep dive into Somebody Call My Mama? I loved Somebody Call My Mama compared to the Kali theme.
You say that you hate talking about that part because of how you look then. So I was just going to brush over it because I know that last time I brought it up, you're like, I fucking hated it. I was huge and this and that. So I didn't want to get you upset.
I was dancing. At least I got to dance.
So let's talk about that briefly. What did you think about coming out to that theme?
I fucking hated it.
You reeled me in with that one. I thought that we were going to have a different conversation, and then just like the pop shot right to the face, and down I go.
Kick right in the pants.
Oh God.
I did like Somebody Call My Mama just because I will say I had fun with the dancing stuff, and it was enjoyable.
And then arguably the one that you're probably second most known for, other than the da 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 song, is the 3MB. more than one man.
I loved it, man. And like those were such fun times. I had so much fun doing the 3MB stuff that I like that song a lot.
Your entrance at WLC, you come out like so like Jinder.
I'm fucking ready.
Jinder comes out, Heath comes out, Drew comes out, and then you come out like you were shot out of a cannon.
I was
so much energy, and like you were just.
If
so
I would have had that much energy in the Rough and Rowdy fight, I may have been able to land 5 punches instead of 2.
we may be having a different conversation about Rough and Rowdy.
But yeah, I loved it. I loved coming out to that one. But then I get canned.
Yeah, and then on the indies before you make.
So I remember, during this time, I remember the first person I went to was my buddy Weimer, and I said, "Hey man, I want to use Newfound Glory. What do I use?" And I wanted to use Newfound Glory because they're my buddies and because they're my favorite band. And I knew I wanted to use something that I enjoy listening to and can listen to every day. And hit or miss. And so we were like back and forth on like 3 or 4. And he came up with hit or miss. And I was like,
that's my favorite Newfound Glory song.
I enjoy it. It's not my favorite, but it's one of their classics. And it instantly was like, oh yeah, this works perfectly. And it's that song that I can listen to any day, and it makes me happy. And
also, their cover albums are just so good.
And I almost picked a cover. But I was like, man, I loved hit or miss, and I still do. Couple cool things with hit or miss. One being, because I'm brain dead, I don't know what match it was, but I was working for Beyond Wrestling, and I think it was the Orange Cassidy match or the Chuck Taylor match, one of the two. But Beyond is I call it like a punk rock crowd, and they're awesome.
Okay.
And so they started singing hit or miss when I got in the ring, and like it lasted a good minute of they kept just fucking singing it. And goosebumps the size of mountains on my arms were growing.
I can't wait to do a whole deep dive into the matches that you've had in Beyond, because you've had some crazy matches.
Weird ones. Yeah.
I want to talk about what it was like to wrestle Shockwave the Robot, because God, that is just the craziest shit I've ever seen.
I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The craziest shit I've ever seen. But so different and funny.
They started just singing, and I was like, are they singing? Oh my God, they're singing my song. Oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And like, everyone just great. And like, now my adrenaline, it was WLC entrance all over. I was raring to go. And I found a GIF, or did I say it right?
GIF, yeah.
Yes! I'm learning! I found a GIF of it, or like, no, because GIFs don't have sound. I found just a clip, and I said, I need this. And I sent it to the guys at Newfound Glory, and they're like, that's the coolest thing ever. Like, we would have never.
So you were doing the Judas gimmick before the Judas gimmick was even a thing.
I was fucking over. But yeah, it was just a really, really cool thing. And then for AIW in Cleveland, Newfound was playing a show that same night in Cleveland at the House of Blues, right down the road. So I said, hey, do you guys want to come to the show before your set? And like, they rushed over. They stayed. My match was like first, and they stayed for my match, and then they left to their concert. And I was able to go to their concert immediately after intermission, and it was awesome. And they're like, we got to see you come out to our song for the first time, which is really cool. And it's like, again, I go back to the fact of it's a song I can listen to all the time. And I want that. Man, I cannot listen to da da da's when I have a promoter play that or like use that, and I always bring a jump drive with me now with my remix of my song Into the Newfound Glory, and it's like if a promoter doesn't have that, it just I hate it so much. I
You should start
hate it.
using your cruiserweight theme.
That'll be better than the regular one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like own the
Yeah,
hell out of that.
but it's just it makes me happy. It's a song that makes me very happy.
That's great. And we'll do I would love to do like a full episode just on Newfound Glory and your relationship with them and you know their involvement in your indie career and all that stuff, your wrestling
Yeah.
career as a whole. So then TNA. We'll jump over to TNA.
So, man, Impact
TNA.
theme, I really enjoy. Like, man, if these promoters
It's
would
a
just
good
use
theme.
that, I would be weird. And I've had a couple of them use that, but I really like that song. And I remember how that came about was I was doing the stuff with Spud, the tapings with Rockstar Spud.
Yep.
And I said to him, I said, guys, I need music. I'm not coming out to random Irish leprechaun music. Find me some pop punk stuff. And so they did. They literally found that. The first time I heard it was when I came out to it. I said, okay, this works great. And I really like it. Like it's one of those, it's a generic song, but it works. Like I
I
really
mean
enjoy it.
for what it is and for like it you kind of have, you know, it's more or less an updated version or a more customized version of the da 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 into
Correct.
the Newfound Glory song. Like
Yep.
it starts out with that kind of
It's a dumbed down version of it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
you have that Celtic intro, you know, you have the Celtic font pops up on the video wall and it says Swoggle, and then it cuts, and then when it cuts, you make your entrance. Like it works very well for what it is. Another Impact theme that you come out to, a little different, maybe not something that you're quite known for in terms of using it past this one time, but Get Ready to Fly for AJ Swoggle.
Oh, I did come out to that.
Yep. What was that like coming out to that song?
So here's a behind the scenes story. Impact gonna impact. All right. The first time we were supposed to do this match, me and Ethan Page, it was the first set of taping, or like it was the first set of tapings I did for them. With Ethan Page or Brian, I forget what I all did, but they said, "Hey, we're gonna do AJ Swoggle." I said, "Okay," and like they didn't tell me anything. All they said was, "Yep, you're gonna wrestle Ethan as AJ Swoggle, and that's it." I said, "What do I need?" I said, "They said, well, do you have the gloves?" And I'm like, "Landon, you got AJ gloves, right?" "Yeah." So I just grabbed his gloves, and it literally looked. They didn't have this. They didn't use this music because they didn't know if they could. And so they used the regular TNA Swoggle theme, and literally I came out, and Hawkins is in the back, and he goes, I looked right at Scott D'Amore and go, this is Swoggle with wearing children's AJ Styles gloves. This isn't good. And there's no crowd. This was during no crowd time. They start shooting. They said, all right, guys, we're going to do this another time. And Ethan Page and I are looking at, and we've been waiting all day. This is the last thing they're taping that day. They wait all day to do this. The last thing they're taping is me and Ethan Page for the AJ Styles thing. We're going to do this another time. I remember to this day. I'm sure he won't care that I'm telling the story because he was a hothead at that time. Ethan Page looks right at the camera and goes, and walks out. And I look at him, I go, and it was like blinky eye emoji. Just, and I like scurry out as well. And we're just laughing to ourselves, like, what the fuck is up with like another time? So we like meet Dreamer and Scott Demore in the back, and we're like, okay, like, well, you said the gloves. I said, you didn't fucking tell me to have anything else. Like, do you want me to get? You didn't tell me to get AJ gear, all right? Like, what the fuck was I supposed to do? And it was just a mess, man. And ended up working out. Like, so then the next set of tapings they bring me to for the thing, Gallows had his gear guy, one of his minion gear guys, make AJ Styles pants and a vest, and yeah, that was that.
I mean, when the moment happens and you come out, I mean, you look.
It's pretty fun.
I mean, you look great. Like
Ended up being pretty fun. And then I call Ethan Page by his government name and call, hey, Julian,
and like,
you son of a bitch.
So loud, so loud,
so loud, and even worse because there's no crowd and it made Botchamania. And I was like, this is the best.
It's so good. Like It like just clear as day. Like as I hear you right now, come on, Julian, you son of a bitch. Like it's just like it's unbelievable.
And he literally goes, you realize you called me my shoot name? I said, I did. And he goes, yep,
it's a nickname.
Yeah,
it's a nickname.
I said, yeah, Julian's your nickname.
Oh man. So and then now we're back to using hit or miss for your appearances.
Yeah, and it's I don't want to change it. I don't change. Never change, you know? But it's one of those things where
stay gold, pony boy.
That's an Outsider's reference.
Yeah, and on the original version of Hit or Miss.
Yeah, I know that, but I was saying which that version sucks.
See that holds a special place in my heart.
Original version, man. I hate it. There's an acoustic version. Dylan Postl, big acoustic guy. Let me tell you.
Same.
I actually I would rank live version, acoustic, regular version of any 99% of songs. That's how I would rank them.
I don't know many people who prefer live versions.
I love live versions because it makes me feel like I'm there. Love live versions. And then an acoustic version, man, give me an acoustic version of just about anything. Yep.
Yeah, you gotta. That's like the sign of a truly like good and talented musician. Like if you could like really get through an acoustic version and not like it doesn't sound like overproduced or anything like that.
I have 2 Bieber albums that are the acoustic version of the regular album, and I love them. Love them.
Acoustic songs, the sign of a good musician.
And hey, that's a way. You put an acoustic song on a nice little drive to a date, you're getting smooches.
All right. Well, that's it. Those are all the Swoggle themes. We've covered everything from pre-WWE, the Shortstack Hardcore Wonder days, all the way through WWE and TNA and your indie run.
It was a very weird episode, but it was a lot of insight into the mind of Dylan. Like,
yeah, and it's also just, you know, you don't really get control over your themes in WWE. So it's also cool to get that insight. It's like they made me use this theme and I hate the da-da-da-da-da song, but I had to use it because it's what they made me use.
I went to Kevin Dunn, the executive producer in WWE. We've all known the name Kevin Dunn.
Yes.
I went to the truck one week and I said, hey, I'm friends with Newfound Glory. Can they make a song for me? And he goes, we'll have to talk to them. I said, I've talked to them. They're in for doing it. Can we make it happen? I'll get back to you. I gave it 2 weeks. I went back in the truck. Hey, have we talked to him? Is this able to happen? Oh, yeah, they said no. I immediately text them and go, hey, did you guys ever hear this? No, because we're fully on board. Awesome.
That sucks.
Yep.
If anything came out of this episode, it made me realize I need one of the guys from Newfound Glory on Small Talk. It needs to happen. I need to make it happen. I think, especially if I could get Chad or Ian, I'm closest with them, on the show, and have a little sit down about the crossover of wrestling and pop punk music, and just I think the worlds are very similar, way more similar than we even think. So yeah, that was it's a fun thing to kind of look back on. 20 years. It was 20 years on Wednesday. 20 years that I've been doing this crazy thing, and it was crazy to think back at all the themes I used. Shake Your Tail Feather just came on in my car the other day, and I had to change it because I was like,
Do you still listen to Nelly once a week?
I listen to Nelly at least once a day.
Once a day. Okay, that's what it was.
Nelly,
we either touched on it in this episode or another episode where you're like, I listen to Nelly once a day, and I was like,
Nelly is for sure coming on at least once a day. I will say this: Sweat sucks. No one likes the Sweat album. It was the smartest thing he could have done to put Sweat and Suit out at the same time. The only thing people like on the Sweat album is Heart of a Champion. No one likes the album. I'm sorry. I apologize. But man,
that's a hot take. We had a hot take.
Is that a hot take? If you can lie to yourself and say you enjoy the Sweat album as like anything more than a top 5 album of Nelly's, you're lying. You're just flat out lying. It's one of his worst albums, and it hurts me to say that. It's like if I had more than one kid saying, "Hey, this kid kind of sucks," like that. That's what it would be.
Damn, that's strong words here, man.
But it's yeah, I really for sure Nelly comes on at least once a day, and very rarely do I hit next song. All right, guys, that was a trip down memory lane. Again, check out the Twitch stream. Check out the Whatnot. Whatnot last Wednesday was an absolute banger. We had more bookmarks of the page, more new buyers on Whatnot than ever before. It was insane.
Gotta give a shout out to friend of the pod.
Okay.
David C. Anderson coming in clutch, sending Shirt Rip 2 clip that will be going on social media.
Shirt Rip 2, again, guys, with Shirt Rip, what happens with Shirt Rip is I learned I might have stolen it from Matt Cardona. If something goes crazy for a crazy amount, I'm just gonna rip the shirt. And I ripped the shirt again this week. A couple PSA cards went for awesome. It was a big battle, and it was great. Bolin Services won one of them, and then he proceeded to send me. He has 38 graded cards of me, of no one else but me. That's George. That was my reaction too. I didn't believe it.
That's a lot of graded cards.
I didn't believe it. He has so many, and it was like he has a 1-of-1 Topps card. I've never seen in my life. I've never seen it. He sent me the photo of his collection, and it was after Whatnot, and I was blown away because it was one of those things where this is just supposed to be on entrance themes. This is going to be short and sweet, like always. But it was one of those things where
it's never short and sweet, Dylan.
He has a collection, and it could be of anyone. It could be John Cena cards, but it's a collection of me. And I texted him. I go, "Hey man, that like it weirdly meant a lot to me because it's me. He could have had John Cena or like Kane or Big Show, but it was me, and it was a really really neat thing. So many variants too of them. He's got the only rookie card PSA 10 of me, which I message him a lot and say, "Hey, I got the Brinks truck ready. What are we doing here? What are we doing?" Because I have 9 right. I have a 9 right there, and It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So Whatnot went off huge. It was so fun this week. Next one will be next month. So go to swoggleauction.com and get $10 free to use on that. Yeah, what else we got, George?
We plug the socials one more time. At Going Postl Pod, at Dylan Postl, all forms of social media. We talked about the YouTube. If you're listening to the audio version, you want to see some video version, and also check out some figure unboxings, his video diaries. Dylan's got all of that happening. YouTube.com/Dylan Postl. Talked about the Twitch. We talked about Swoggle Auction. ProWrestlingTees.com/Swoggle. And if you go to DylanPostl.com and click on merchandise, that is the Swoggle Big Cartel store.
George,
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
George, let's do a giveaway.
Well, we're going to be doing a giveaway on every episode of the podcast. All you have to do is leave a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Let us know what you thought about the podcast. If we pick your review, you will get a signed Going Postl 8x10 by the man himself. And then you also get to hear Dylan read your review on the air for the next episode, which who doesn't want that? Because Dylan's going to be Dylan.
Good chance I'm going to botch the name. Good chance I'm going to botch the reading of the review. Good chance there's going to be fun involved.
That's what's going to happen.
It's there is for sure 98% chance I'm botching the reading of the review. There we go. But you get a free 8x10. Like, these are the only ways to get the Going Postl 8x10s. Send a review. Leave a review.
That's version 1. That's the OG.
Yes. Once these are gone, they are gone for good. Leave a review. We'll read it on the next episode.
All right. And then with that, what else you got to talk about? You want to say anything else?
Bye.